Hello. Welcome to another episode of Liz Explains the Movies, a cinematic adventure based on boredom and dialysis, brought to you by boredom and dialysis. Not necessarily in that order. So, today's movie, we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about a movie called Baby Boom. Came out in 1987. It's a fantastically funny movie. I know you all will love it. And the other thing we're going to talk about is the Mary Tyler Moore Show, Season 1, Episode 2. So that's what we're talking about today. I had a bit of a late start because I had a little kerfuffle with my machine here. And now I have to dialyze this afternoon. So I'm just going to dismantle this whole thing while I talk to you instead of because I had to call the company and they're like, nah, you have to turn over. So, I don't know, some air got in there or something. I told you air was the enemy of dialysis, right? So, we're fighting our enemy number one here today. So, I'm just going to undo this while I talk. So, the movie Baby Boom came out in 1987. It stars Diane Keaton, Harold Ramis, Sam Shepard. Who else is in it? A very young James Spader. Is it? A very young James Spader. Like almost anything. He plays this perfect James Spader character. This like smarmy little executive. This like sort of smarmy kind of junior executive on the way up. And he's such a jerk. And he's such a two-faced jerk. Okay, hold on. Okay, throw this away. Okay. He's a big two-faced jerk. So anyway. Oh my god, there's all my boxes. That's life with dialysis. On the first day of dialysis at your house, I have to throw this whole thing away and start over. Which is just great. Anyway, on your first day of dialysis, a truck rolls up to your house with 42 boxes. And you get to unload them and bring them all into your room. And that's all your stuff. You need 42 boxes of crap just to do this. One day I'll give you a tour of my warehouse. That used to be a bedroom. Okay, so anyway, I can give you a mini tour right now. Look, there's my clown catalog. Never mind, I'll just... Anyway, we're watching this movie called Baby Boom. So, she is this woman named... She's played by Diane Keaton, who is also in Annie Hall. She's a very funny comedic actress. So many movies. And she was... she's a very gifted comedic actress. So... She plays this really high-powered executive. She's an advertising executive in New York. She is ruthless. She is on her way up. She's a yuppie, they call a yuppie, which is a young urban professional. She is a woman in a man's world at the time. 1987 is when this movie came out. She wears power suits. She's very focused. She has no time for children or fooling around or anything. She has a boyfriend, but he's the same way. And all they do is work, workaholics. And so she's living her life perfectly fine. Everything's good. And then one day she gets a phone call in the middle of the night. And it's from overseas. And they said that you have inherited something. But the transmission on the phone call is terrible. She can't hear what's on the other end, what they're saying. So... they said you inherited something. And she's like, I inherited what? What? It's like the middle of the night. You have a terrible connection. And they're like, you inherited something. And she's like, all night, she's like, I wonder what it is. I wonder if it's a piece of jewelry. You know, my family on that side had a lot of money. I wonder if it's a castle. I wonder if it's a... And so she has to go pick it up at the airport. So she leaves her job, and the next day, in the middle of the day, right before her important lunch meeting, and she leaves her job and she says to go get whatever it is. And she meets this woman at the airport who she's supposed to meet. And this woman is carrying a toddler. A toddler. And she's like, okay, well, where's my thing? Is it a ring? Is it a brooch? And she's like, no, it's Elizabeth. What? It's a toddler. Her parents were killed in a car crash or something. She has no other family. And you are named as the next of kin. And we have to give her to you. Or either that or she goes to an orphanage. And she's like, I can't have a baby. I have a lunch meeting with a very important client. Oh my goodness. She ends up taking the baby to the lunch meeting. She swears to it. She has to take the kid to the office that day. She swears upon her life. Her boss is like, what are you doing? You're losing focus. Anyway, this kid enters her life. She's like, what am I supposed to... And it's hilarious. She has to hire a nanny. She has to... You know, she's got these little tiny executives, like, trying to smarm their way up to the top and get her job. And they're taking advantage of this now that she's, like, preoccupied with this kid. And she's in mommy and me classes. And she's trying to get her kid into the right preschool. And she's in this rat race. And then her boyfriend says, like, you know what? I can't handle this because I don't get any sleep. And she broke my glasses and all this stuff. She, like, does all this stuff. And she's got this entirely kid-unfriendly apartment with, like, this Eames chair and all this stuff, like, important architecture and artwork. And the kid's, like, crawling all over it and throwing spaghetti everywhere. And it's just kind of a nightmare. And she's like, I don't know what to do. And then one day it just gets to be too much. And the boss says, look, I'm going to demote you a little bit and give you some time with your kid. She's like, I don't want time with the kid. I finally have it, you know. I hired a nanny. I've got things in place now. I've got it under control. And you're like, yeah, but you don't. You know, you really don't. So we're going to put you on the Ferber Dog Chow account. And she goes, I cannot go out there and tell these people that I'm now working on the dog food account. I mean, that's like a huge demotion for me. It's embarrassing. And I'm not going to do that. And you have to keep me at my old job. And he's like, no, I don't. Because you're not the same person that you were. And that's okay. Just you need to go focus on that for a while. And she's like, but I didn't sign up for this. So her whole life is kind of falling apart. And every Sunday, she reads the Sunday New York Times, like my mother used to do. And in back in the magazine section of the Sunday New York Times, there were always these advertisements for country houses, and everybody read these. It's like, oh, this many acres, and this many, it's in the Hamptons, or it's in Vermont, or something. And she kept cutting them out of a book and circling them, and putting them away into a folder. Like, one day I'm gonna retire and buy one of these houses. And, you know, she has enough money, and she says, I don't have anything left here in New York. My boyfriend left. My apartment's trashed from this kid. My job is gone. My career's out of whack. I'm just going to move to the country and live off my savings. I don't care anymore. I'm going to take this kid and let's move to the country. So she buys one of these houses in Vermont, and it looks very beautiful from the outside. From the outside, it has a beautiful apple orchard. She buys a giant car, this giant Jeep. She, you know, here she comes. That's it. She's moving to the country. That's it. She's a new person. She moves to the country. As you can imagine, hilarity ensues. First of all, she moves to this town called Hadleyville, Vermont. It's like population 60 or something. Everybody knows each other. That was the only nibble on that house in 3 years. She was the only nibble. And she finally bought it. She didn't know what she was getting into. The plumbing had to be replaced. This had to be replaced. That had to be replaced. She has this one guy who has to come and fix everything. She doesn't understand it. One day she's just flipped out. She's having like almost a nervous breakdown. She ends up at a doctor's office. It's a very funny scene. She ends up at a doctor's office, and he's like listening to her. And she's like, I'm just going crazy, and I don't know what I got myself into. And turns out he's a vet. So funny. Anyway, I don't want to ruin any more of the movie, but it's hysterical. And I think it's a great movie. It's a little dated. Of course it is. Like all the movies I review are a little dated. But it is a great movie. And if you're stuck on a dialysis machine like me, and you're just sitting here like a turnip, and you want something to do, you should watch some of these movies, because they are just incredible. These are incredible movies. That they don't make movies like this anymore. And to be honest, I'm not very good at this. I'm not very good at describing movies, maybe. I'm not very good at this channel. I have no idea what I'm doing. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to suck at this until I don't suck at it anymore. I'm just going to do it until I'm better at it. Like, whatever. That's what you have to do in life, right? You suck, you keep doing it, and then you keep sucking a little less each time you do it. That's me. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so now the second thing we're going to do is talk about the Mary Tyler Moore Show. The Mary Tyler Moore Show, that is Mary Tyler Moore. I talked about the first one, I thought, when she moves from Minneapolis, she has her interview with Mr. Grant, she starts working at the newsroom, she blows off her old fiance, and she kind of says, you know, okay, I'm on my own now. I'm a girl in the city. She's got her neighbor Rhoda, who she's slowly becoming friends with. She's got her cousin Phyllis. And, you know, she's making friends. Mr. Grant and Murray Slaughter and all these people in the newsroom. And this is just sort of building a life for herself. Single girl, 1970 in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Okay, so the second episode is the ratings are falling at the station. And they said they need a younger audience. And she said, well, I'm young and I watch the show. And Mr. Grant says, no, you're old now. You're 30. You're over 30. You're not in that demographic anymore. Oh my gosh. And then this kid walks by in the newsroom and calls her ma'am. And she doesn't even hear him. She's like, ma'am, wait, you can't be talking to me. Ma'am, I got ma'amed today. She tells Rhoda, I got ma'amed today. That's a shock the first time you get called ma'am. One time, I mean, okay, I had my kid when I was 39. I did. I had Spencer when I was 39. And to be honest, I might have looked a little tiny bit older than all the rest of the parents at the playground. I was the only one without a belly button ring and tattoos, which is fine. You know, that's a choice. But anyway, I was, you know, an older mom, right? And I remember in 1 week, in the same week, we were at the backstop when it was called something else before, and I got carded. I got carded this one day. Like on a Tuesday, I got carded trying to order a drink. And then 3 days later, I'm in Costco with my son, and the lady at the thing hands him the receipt because he was so cute back then. Mr. Spence. And she goes, okay, hand the paper to Grandma. Hand the paper to Grandma? I'm not his grandma. I'm not his grandma. Whatever, it's fine. So, I don't know if I got ma'amed, but I got grandma'd. Got grandma'd. And it is a shock when you first get grandma'd or ma'amed. You're like, what? You can't be talking to me. I'm 14 years old. But you're not. You're actually not. You're 60 now. So anyway, so she got ma'amed. And so she and Rhoda decide to go and look up old guys that they used to go out with, or maybe only went out with once, or someone that they could date. You know, let's revisit some of these relationships to see if we can find nice men. We're single. So they both think of two guys and they dare each other to call them. So Rhoda calls her guy. I forgot his name. It's a guy that she met. He's nice. He seems really cute. She was in a car accident with him. She has his number. He was really nice and we should go out sometime, and she blew him off. Well, she kept his number and she wrecked his car, but she's going to call him. Mary dares her to call. She says, okay. And he said, okay, I'll be over at 7. And he said, and they're going to come to Mary's and have drinks. And then Mary calls the guy she's thinking of, this Norman guy or something. He's an old photographer of hers, friend. And she's like, why didn't I like him? Why did I turn him down? I can't remember. Then he comes over and she remembers why. He's just nuts. But anyway, they had this hilarious drinks date with these two guys. I'm not going to tell you what happened. It's kind of a spoiler alert. But I put a trailer to it below in the description. I put a trailer to the movie Baby Boom. And I put a trailer to the season 1, episode 2 of the Mary Tyler Moore Show. And I think, now, I didn't put a trailer to the Mary Tyler Moore Show. I put the entire episode. So you can watch that for free. The entire episode right there. And the movie you have to rent. I think you, but it's like renting from Blockbuster. Remember Blockbuster? When you don't just go there, you just go to Amazon or whatever it is and you pay $3 and you rent it, you know? So you can rent the movie Baby Boom, or maybe you have it somewhere or get it from the library. Just put it on your list. So when you're doing dialysis, when you're sitting here like a turnip with all these stupid syringes and all your crap, you know, you have something to do where your mind's not rotting or thinking about your kidneys or whatever. You know, let's watch some fun movies. I have plenty on the docket, you know. We're going to watch Groundhog Day pretty soon. I have lots of surprises. We're going to do a whole Robert Redford thing. We're going to go through a lot of Bill Murray movies. We're going to dive into Wes Anderson, some more conspiracy theories like Michael Clayton and The Insider. We're going to, you know, maybe I'll review some new ones at the theater, but I haven't really done that yet. And because, frankly, I don't go to the theater much anymore for movies because I don't think anything's really worth paying $11 for or leaving my house. I have limited time. I have to do this all the time, so why would I do that? So, sirs and ma'ams, I think you should, you know, we have to do this, right? Not everyone who's watching this has to do this, but I have to do this. This is my life here. This iPad, this crap, everything, it's all, we have to do this. We're here 4 times a week. So let's make it fun, right? Let's make it fun. So that's what I'm doing. I got my octopus cup. I got my stupid book. Now I got to come back because I screwed this cartridge up and it takes 4 hours to dialyze. And I have to go pick Spencer up at Willamette I have to leave here at 11. Now I don't have time because the cartridge screwed up. I don't have enough time to do it today, so I have to do it at 4:30 tonight when I come back from driving my kids. I have a job where I drive kids for a living in my own car for a company. I've been doing it for 9 years. I love it. I wouldn't do it if I love it, and it doesn't even feel like work because it's a job I love so much. So that's what I'm doing today. I am going to watch a couple more episodes, maybe another movie. I'm going to go pick up Spencer at Willamette. I'm going to go drive my kids, pick them up at 2:40, and then I'm going to come back here and dialyze. And that's about it. I hope everyone has a nice day. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to like and subscribe, tell your friends. And, you know, I'm just going to suck at this until I don't suck at it as much. That's what you have to do in life, right? I mean, I was terrible at this at first. First of all, I had the hemoglobin level of about like 4.8 or something. I was almost dead. I was like a walking corpse. My kidneys had failed. I was sort of aware of it, but I wasn't. I had no blood left in my body. I was like a vampire. I don't know what I was. I was like a walking sort of zombie. I was driving down 205 and they called and they're like, do you know what your hemoglobin is? And I'm like, I don't know. Where are you right now? I'm like, I'm on 205. I'm dropping off a kid. Where do you think, where am I? This is where I always am. I'm always on 205. They said, Liz, your hemoglobin is like 4.6. You need to go to the hospital right now and get a transfusion, maybe 2. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. How am I supposed to know that? You know, they were good for a while. They really were. Then I had this like acute kidney injury and who knows what happened. And now, here I am. in the land of the big D. And that's fine. I don't care. I don't care. I do it myself at my house. I don't have to go to one of those places. I feel very lucky to do this. People think this is gross. I don't want to do it. You're very lucky to be able to do this. You can sit at home. Look at this. I mean, this is paradise right here. Look at this. Look at my clown catalog. Look at it. It's beautiful. Oops, it's the wrong month. It's the wrong month. I'm gonna change it. It's not September anymore. You know, I was thinking of making a sign for my channel. Liz Explains the Movies. I really should do that. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. This one's getting too long. In this video. Oh boy, am I terrible at this. Alright. This is a clown calendar. This is a clown having a business meeting. Now, what's October? Let's see. Oh, it's a clown playing guitar. That's great. This is a calendar I got called Clowns in the Wild. This is a clown lawyer. He's in court, examining the witness. And then what's for November? Oh, it's a clown on a skateboard. He's pretty talented. That's December. No, I skipped ahead. This is the clown in court. In November, we go to court. But it's October only. It's Clown Halloween, so looks like he's busking. He's probably in the subway. You know. Clowns in the Wild. Get yourself a weird calendar. Explore your weird side. I don't know. Make it fun. What choice do you have? You have to do it anyway. So you might as well make it fun, right? Isn't that everything? Everyone has something to do in life that they don't want to do. But you got to do it. So here you go. Okay. I'll see you next time on the next episode of Liz Explains the Movies. Have a nice day, and I'll see you at the movies. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.